Bonjour, my name is Hercule Poirot. I am here at the invitation of Mademoiselle Angeline.
Ah, Detective Poirot. We have been expecting you. Please come in from this frightful cold.
Merci. I don't think I would have lasted much longer out here before turning into an icicle.
Welcome. I am Archibald Sterling, the head butler. Please accept my apologies. I have a rather pressing matter, but I will see that you are attended to immediately.
Do not trouble yourself on my behalf. I'm sure I am more than capable of finding my room. I shall straighten myself up and be ready to join the party.
Ah, there is no rush, Detective. Dinner will not be served for some time. So, once you have settled in, I am sure that Miss Angeline will be happy to see you. She has been eager for your arrival. You will be staying on the first floor. I believe your room is one of the two on the west side of the house.
Merci. I am sure we Hmm. Oh. Aha. Mhm. Oh. Oh. Huh. Hmm. Huh. Aha. Hmm. Ah. Bonjour. Allow me to introduce myself. I am
Detective. I hope you're not here for me.
not that I am aware of.
Ha! Not often you meet a detective with a sense of humor. I'm. You'll be lucky. I've been waiting for a refill for ages. I came out here to find someone.
Ah, I see. The preparations for this evening's dinner must have taken precedence.
I've seen that. If I had seen them, maybe I would have. It is meant to be theirs.
Something or other?
Let's just say they like to keep their cards close to their chest. For such a while.
Would you care to elaborate on what Mademoiselle may be?
I'd rather not. You're the detective.
Très bien, Monsieur Demir. I shall take up no more of your time. Huh. Hmm. Oh. Huh. Aha. Hmm. Hmm. What a revelation. must take a different approach if I... I must act on thought and fact. This will not get me any closer to my goal. I should not be surprised by my own skill. I cannot see the logic in this. Come, my little grey cells. We must... Is there something... Order and method. That is the way... Magnifique. Come, my little grey cells. We must think... This will not get me any closer to my... I must take a different approach if I am to The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming. I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps a second... Order and method. That... I must act on thought and... Some would say a lucky guess. I would... Aha. Huh. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Ah.
You must be Detective Poirot. Welcome.
The fiancé to Mademoiselle Angeline.
Angeline spoke so highly of you. It sounds as though you are the man that...
I am, monsieur. You have my...
Mostly friends of the family. A couple of business associates of mine.
With regards to the blackmailing, can they be trusted, or...
Angeline is struggling to trust anyone right now. But Madame Vandenbosch, as it is her house...
And they will all be staying in the house.
Yes, it is a rather full house. All 6 guests will be staying on this floor. The family resides on the 2nd floor.
I will be sure to speak with them all. However, I will keep my identity and purpose for being here hidden.
I'm afraid that ship may have already sailed. Once the Comtesse gets wind of something, a detective coming to the house, for example, She tries her best to keep everyone else happy, but I can see it is taking its toll.
Quite understandable. She is feeling the burden of the family that is not hers to carry.
Angeline has spoken with her mother. She has asked if there is anything that could be used against her.
And what are your thoughts on the matter?
I do not want to overstep my position, but if there is something that could damage not only the Vandenbosch name, but our future, Angeline deserves to know.
That is a very diplomatic answer.
You have met Madame. You know it is best to not get up. You are very observant, Detective. You would be wise to keep that perceptive nature.
I'm sure you are correct. But I'd like to return to...
He has been a good friend to Madame Vandenbosch over the years, but that does not make him a good man, or suitable to involve himself in family affairs.
Merci, monsieur. I shall leave you to prepare for tonight's celebration. Mademoiselle Angeline, it is a pleasure to see you again.
Detective, how wonderful you are here.
Watching from my carriage window, I saw the beautiful countryside and rolling hills.
I'm truly thankful you could make it here at such late night.
No thanks are required, mademoiselle. When one is requested personally, there is nothing more.
Gideon and I only wanted a small dinner to celebrate our engagement, but Maman was adamant on throwing this party. It may have been her idea, but it's the staff that have made it. Their efforts do not go unnoticed, from me at least. They have been with us for so long. I do my best to make sure they are happy and content. Only Maman, Elizabeth, my beloved Gideon, and
And what is your fiancé's opinion of the...
he thinks me foolish for paying the first one if there is no secret to reveal. But
But you believe there may be a secret lurking, one that Maman is herself keeping hidden.
she tells me nothing. Even though I'm a grown woman on the verge of marriage, she still treats me like the child I once.
Perhaps it is out of love that she protects you. It is in every mother's nature to...
Not a single person. I don't know anyone that would stoop.
The guests that will be joining us tonight, they are one...
I hope so, Detective. Before the letters arrived, I would not have thought twice about it.
They are all close friends of yours, I assume.
Friends and colleagues. Gideon has spoken positively about them. It would be a rather underhanded tactic. Oh, Detective, I'm afraid I just don't know.
She was quite adamant at the police station that she would not be returning to the house, but I assumed she would at least collect her belongings.
Maman demanded that Elizabeth pack up everything she had and dispose of it. But I couldn't let that happen. Elizabeth and I took her belongings, what little there was of them, to a friend of hers in the town that Elizabeth knew of. I wanted to contact her, but I had no address or tip.
Surely Madame must have had some information when she employed her.
You saw how Maman was. As soon as Fleurette was out of sight of the house, it was as though she had never been there at all. Elizabeth...
And your mama's choice to ignore her accountability for the girl stopped you searching.
Please, Detective, you cannot make me feel any worse than I already do. If I could go back and live that day again, you must be... Yes, Maman has quite a collection, although they are not all to my taste.
The painting of the saints, in particular, it is quite exquisite.
The one in the hall? If you look above your bedroom door, you will see one of their names. I believe they were originally carved to watch over the occupant.
Merci, mademoiselle. Huh. Huh.
Detective. I'm a guest. I shouldn't.
Perhaps the party preparation is more.
It's not.
I shall take up no more of your time. Aha. Ah, Mademoiselle Elizabeth.
Detective Poirot, I'm so glad you could make it.
Unfortunately, it is not purely for pleasure that I am here. Mademoiselle,
Yes, Angeline has told me. I'm glad she called upon you, Detective.
I will do everything I can to find the blackmailer and bring.
I have every faith in you.
I hope I am not interrupting you.
We're all very... No one escorted you. I'm so sorry. Everyone is just so frantic at the moment.
And you have been tasked with jobs in the pantry. Surely your talents could be used elsewhere.
I do as Madame asks. Well, as Archie asks.
Monsieur Sterling. Yes, I met him when I arrived. A charming gentleman. He did give me some rather vague instructions to find my...
I can only apologise on his behalf. He would be mortified. I'm afraid I cannot be of much more help, but I believe you are located next to Mr. De Silva. By all means, the house is yours to explore. Yes, I'm afraid it may be all for show, though. She has not been herself, and it is not only I that...
Madame Vandenbosch. Surely it must have...
Madame has carried on as though nothing has happened. She has never been one to show emotion, and she doesn't seem to notice how it has affected Angeline. The staff, on the other hand... Angeline means no harm, but that...
I hope not...
Ah, yes. Guests are requested to sign the book when arriving. I believe...
It stated the male guests are to be staying in the east.
Yes, Madame... Oh, yes. Well, I'm afraid it is far from a happy ending.
Oh, mademoiselle, I...
It's fine, Detective, honestly. I'm sorry, but I really must finish this.
Bien sûr, mademoiselle. Merci.
The pleasure is mine, Detective. Before you leave, Detective, I have something for you beside the furnace here from Angeline. She wanted me to give it to you on your arrival.
Merci.
Before you leave, Detective, I have something for you beside the furnace.
Merci. Oh. become Is there something? I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps a sec. I must take a different approach if I am. I must act on thought and. Another success. Some would say a lucky guess. I would say. What a revelation!
What can I help you with? I was right to pay it, yes?
You were wise to consult me, but bowing to their threat may have only shown that you are willing to pay for their silence.
I wish I could, but I have no idea. The letter was addressed to me, but I have nothing to hide.
She looked at it. She is not a.
She doesn't know I paid the first. I thought I could make it all go away.
Did you ask Madame if there was a family secret they could be privy?
She said I was to ignore the letters and stop wasting my time with such foolishness. If there... I couldn't ask Maman for the money. She was angry that I had even considered paying it.
Pardon, did he not think you foolish?
He did, but he said he couldn't stand by and watch me in so much distress.
How honorable.
We are soon to be married, detective. A loving partnership that faces their troubles together.
I did not mean anything by it, mademoiselle. You have found yourself a husband that will stand by your side and do what must be done to protect you. I am most pleased for you.
As you would expect, she has been in quite a state. It was such a terrible accident. She kept it to herself.
Pardon, how could you not know? Surely his absence from the house was not...
Maman fired him after he returned to the house.
But Mademoiselle Elizabeth's position was kept?
I begged Maman, for them both, But she said if he was willing to go behind her back, what else could...
Falling in love is a far cry from committing even the smallest crime.
She has been a kind shoulder to lean on through all this mess, but it is her.
I was not aware of what had happened, and by mentioning, I fear I may have...
Do not punish yourself, detective. You are not to know. I don't think your honest mistake will make much difference to how she has been.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Of course, Detective. What is it? I would not say it in front of the Major, but it is rather hideous. It was a gift from him to Madame from his time overseas. I don't think it even...
A pen that does not write is like a fish that...
As Angeline...
Merci.
Pleasure is mine, Detective.
Please, ask away, detective. Angeline has spoken of it. You made...
I feel responsible for what came from that day.
It is not... I suppose you think I was unwise to...
I am glad mademoiselle requested my help before you fell further at...
Madame van den Bosch had no intentions of paying it. Whether she believes there is a...
It was an honorable move for you to make the payment.
Angeline...
Merci, monsieur. Is there something I... Come, my little Grace Alice. We must... Things are beginning to become clearer. Another success. This will not get me any closer. Order and method. That is the way to... I must act on thought and fact. something I am not seeing. Magnifique. I should not be surprised by my own. I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps. This will not get me any closer to my goal. I must take a different approach if I am. The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming to. Come, my little grey cells. Order and method. That is the way. Is there something? Magnifique.
Please, ask up. As far as I'm aware, everything is in order. From what I understand, the late Viscount had made
And regarding the payment of the black.
Angelinda.
Merci, monsieur. I shall leave you to. Ah. Oh. Mm-hmm. Ah. Aha. I should not be surprised by my own skill.
What can I help you with, Detective?
Merci, mademoiselle. I sh-
Of course, Detective.
Merci.
The pleasure is mine, Detective.
Hmm.
Detective. Is that what he said?
I find his accent rather pleasant.
I get.
I shall take up no more of your time.
Please, ask away.
Merci, monsieur. I shall leave you to prepare for. Oh. Hmm. Aha. Elizabeth, thank you for coming. I shall not.
Not at all, Detective. I had best not be away for too long. Madame would not be pleased when there is so much work to do.
Well, mademoiselle, if anyone was to ask, I required your urgent attention with a delicate matter.
Thank you, Detective. I have heard whispers, but this town is full of busybodies. It's hard to know what is the truth and what is hot air from socialites trying to...
I would not have thought you want to join in with.
I'm not, but it can be hard to ignore. I try to quash any talk of it in the house. But it's easier said than done. When the staff are together, it seems to be a competition to see who can dream up the...
You are a loyal maid and friend. Mademoiselle Angeline.
It baffles me why they would target her in the first place. She has such a kind and pure soul. That may not be what you remember of Mademoiselle.
I was wary of that when I arrived, but I myself can see a change in her, a maturity. And
Letters, Detective. I brought you the other. I have tried to tell her not to think any more on them, but she fears that even a fabricated story could ruin the family name. She even frets at what it may do.
I have met Monsieur Demire, and I cannot see his love for Angeline diminishing at something so trivial. Merci.
Pleasure is mine, Detective.
What a revelation.
Of course, Detective. She will no doubt be with Master Gideon. The party...
That is my cue to make a grand entrance.
Quite handsome, Detective.
Merci. If you catch me snoring.
I will use Madame's sharpest poker.
It sounds as though someone else may have already been poked.